Alright guys, so hello world, welcome back to another Django tutorial. So before I begin, I just want to say I made a terrible mistake because I actually recorded this first time using the built-in screen recorder again. I thought it will be fine because it's not that laggy and the voice can sync correctly. But then after I used it, guess what? It didn't record it at all. It just recorded half of it. So I don't want to record again to redid all the stuff I've done. So I would just like to go over what I've done, and then so you probably can get an idea what I do. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna talk about GitHub OAuth. OAuth is just essentially a way to enable you to authenticate not directly with your own database, but with other people's database. So for example, ever heard of login with Google? You'll probably see it at least. I don't know, did you click or not? So when you click, you'll be prompted to either choose account or login with Google. They're using Google OAuth to do that. And then we're gonna use GitHub OAuth. We're logging with GitHub. So now, as you can see, to create a new application, what you can do is you could go to, let me show my browser. You could go to, as you can see now, github.com. And then since I'm using incognito mode, I will need to log in. So I'm going to talk about briefly how to set all these things up. And then, yeah. Alright, so now as you can see the page load, I'm just going to click on the sign in. Sign to GitHub. And put information, sign in. Okay, so send me a SMS code. Just with a sec, let me authorize with it first. Alright, so the code is 036482. And verify. Alright, so now as you can see, I'm on my homepage. So now what you can do is first you need to click on your profile picture on the top right corner. Technically click on that little triangle. And now you can see a list with settings. So click on this settings. And now you should see your account's information. Since I use the GitHub feature preview, so it looks a little bit different. But now scroll down. You can find developer settings, and now click on the developer settings. And now click on OAuth apps. Now you can see I already, whoops, sorry, you didn't see that yet. Yep. So now as you can see, I already created an OAuth app. It's called AlgoExpert clone GitHub OAuth. To create a new OAuth, you can definitely click on here. Click on the new OAuth app. Now you see a form to fill out. So the homepage URL can be wherever you want, but the most important one is the authorization callback URL. So this is what ultimately, for me, I put it as my local host. So it's 127.0.0.1 port 8000 / authorize. And then I use that as my callback URL. So we'll see important callback URL. So for GitHub, you could use different callback URL or redirect URI specified. But the redirect URL is I believe the URL itself and the port number must match each other. You can see the documentation link in the description below for more information. And now what we could do is, let me go back to the code and I will briefly go through my code. So first, as you can see, I created two new routes. I should create as a different app, but I just put them together. So the first route is called login. So as you can see, we're gonna associate login function. It's really like register and login combined. And then you can see we have a callback URL specified here, GitHub/authorized, which is going to associate the GitHub function with it. And the name just gonna be GitHub. Now let's take a look at views.py. Alright, so here's a view.py. As you can see, there is so first I implement the login route. So per GitHub's specification, I use this to redirect me. So this is the URL. So I import HTTP response redirect from Django.http, and then you can see I put the URL here. So you can see it's github.com/login/raw/authorized, and it's gonna put a custom parameter called client ID. So client ID is the ID that you will get after you register an application. As you can see, I put it at the top, so you guys cannot steal it for security purpose. And I use the F string to include it here, called GitHub OAuth ID. And then make sure you also put the secret also. We'll use secret later. So after your user visit this page, there'll be prompt. They will so after the user click like authorize, what they will do now is it will redirect to this GitHub function. And then you can see first is we will get the code. So the code is what we can exchange for an access token for security purpose. And then we can later use access token to activate. So code is going to be a get parameter. So it's going to say code equals request a get code right here. This basically just get the code that gives to us once the user is authorized. Then what we did, provide a custom header so we can accept JSON data. And then now what you see is it's a post request. You need to send a post request to access token, which as you can see, we need client ID, client secret, and code. So client ID and client secret is given below. It's given on both as a constant variable. And then code is just the code that we get from the GitHub. So GitHub will redirect give us just repeat what I said is GitHub will using get to put a parameter as a code. So we will do a demo after this so you can understand better. But just think this is as a code that you must use, and then as you can see, I put a header JSON. So now I can use JSON data, and then print out the info out. So which info should give us the access token. So the access token is a token that we can actually get the user's data from. So now I use it. So now I can use this to get as a dictionary, so I can get the access token from the info variable. And now move on. Finally, I can get the user's actual information. So as you can see, it's request a get. So I get user's information from api.github.com/user. And now you can see in custom headers, this is HTTP headers to provide additional information. And I talked about and then I use authorization, which is a dictionary headers, by the way. So key is authorization, and then token, and then key value is I use the F string again with token and the actual access token, and then change to JSON. Ignore this comment. This comment is what we're going to do in next video, which we're going to talk about how to actually store the user's information, and then we're going to return an HTTP response of the actual user's information, gives us the JSON data. So we're just going to return as a string format. Alright, so that's a lot of explanation. Let's see it in real action. So which you can help you understand better. Alright, so I'm going to switch tab to AlgoExpert clone. Now you can see I format this a little bit better. So when we click on the home, what you see is hello world. Same for problem, hello problem as well. So now notice that we have a blue link here. It said register and login. So when you click on here, and then it's loading. Okay, so I already authorized. So I want to show what happened when I didn't authorize. So what I will do is let me go ahead and log out first. I want to show you from scratch what can happen. So I'm going to log out first because I already authenticated with that. So I'm going to log out. Sign out. Alright, so now we'll try again. We'll click on the register and login again. So notice that when it send, first I want to ask you to sign in first. They didn't sign in. And then notice that this is sign of the URL that we give them, like at least the client ID is what we given, but return is GitHub automatically added to us. So which then later it can do all the old stuff. But you first need to log in first. And then I'm just going to log in. Click on the sign button. Okay, well, send a authentication code again. Just a sec. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so sorry about that. Authentication. Let me just reset code really quick. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Alright. So now I can see it's immediately redirected to the URL that I provided and then authorized, which then later going to redirect to the URL that is given to us. And then you can see now it shows information, and then you can see the code parameters provided here, and then my information just showed up here. Alright, so that's all about the GitHub boss. We will talk about the model tomorrow, but just so yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and then see you next time. Be safe.